So hey, what's up, social media world? I'm back with another vision video. So as you saw, I hadn't dropped a video in a few weeks because I work in the golf, like I told you guys before, and it's kind of hard to make videos out there, at least in peace. So now here I am making another video because I want to try to drop a video, at least a video a week for you guys. And in my vision video series. So this video that I had, I was possessed in it, and this was only like a few weeks ago. So this is one of the fresh videos of a vision that I recently had. And I had some other ones, and I'm gonna put them in videos also. So but yeah, so in this vision, it was like I was just somewhere, right? I was somewhere, and it had like I just knew it had like two men, it had like two men, and it's like I just saw like if one of them just like threw something, and this thing, whatever he threw, was coming at me like if I'm 43 years old, so I don't know if y'all remember like the boomerangs, like you throw them and they like how they come back at you. When I was a kid, that was like popular. We would play with those things. I hadn't saw kids these days play with that at all. But anyway, that was a popular thing whenever I was a kid. So this evil force was coming at me like that, and it was like trying to hit me. So I'm like, as I'm seeing it from a distance, I'm already like getting in my stance so I can duck and dodge it. So when it get close to me, I can get out the way so it can just pass me up, because I didn't want to get hit with this, because I knew it was an evil spirit. You know how they say you cast the evil spirit out and then to jump out and jump into someone else, and it was like that's what had happened. It was like an evil spirit that got cast out, and it was just looking for another soul. You know what I'm saying? And so when I saw it, it almost looked like if I don't know, like if you like if you got a cup of water, and then you put it in the sunlight, and how the glare hits it, and you look in the cup, how that light sparkling off of the water. That's it, was looking just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of energy source or something like that, some like a sound wave or something. But it was an evil spirit. And so whenever it got about this close to me, I went to do like this so it can pass me up. It was like these two hands caught me, grabbed me, back of my hands like that, and just told me, stand your ground. You know what I'm saying? Stand your ground. And I'm kind of like almost got scared, like looking, but I knew that was God's voice. But anyway, like I told y'all, that voice was my voice. So in my vision videos, or any of my videos, when y'all hear me say God's voice, it's my voice. And whenever y'all start hearing your own voice, that's whenever y'all gonna know that y'all leveled up, because God is you and you is God. But I already explained it in other videos also. But anyway, it was my voice, but it was God's voice. So stand your ground. You know what I'm saying? And so I wasn't trying to listen to what God had to say, because I didn't want to get hit with that evil spirit. So I still tried to jump out the way, and I was just frozen. I was just paralyzed. I was just stuck. I couldn't even do nothing. I couldn't even move. Then it hit me, boom. And when it hit me, man, it's like, bro, I got so possessed. It was like my whole body turned pale. My eyes flipped into the back of my head. It was pale. It was just like I had this ugly future on my face, man. I was possessed, man. I was like, if you saw the movie Exorcist or any of those scary movies, you know how people get possessed? I was looking just like that. And I was terrified of myself. And I remember I'm trying to wake up out the dream, and I'm trying to get up out the dream, and then I just heard God's voice say, remember who you are. Remember who you are. And soon as I remembered who I was, it was like I kind of had this smile came in, because I know I got power, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm anointed, I'm chosen, I just knew that. I remembered that. And when I remembered that, man, it's like I just freaking devoured that evil spirit, man. It's like I devoured it. And it's like it's almost like if I swallowed myself. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I swallowed myself, devoured myself like a pure, I spit that bad boy out on the ground, and like it bounced, hit the ground, bounced like it was a basketball or something, and it rolled over, and it rolled off, and it was dead. You know what I'm saying? And so I woke up out the dream. But when I woke up out the dream, man, it was like I was so happy. You know, I felt so empowered. You know what I'm saying? I felt mighty, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I felt mighty, and it was the reason why God put me through that. You know what I'm saying? It was a level up. You know what I'm saying? It was a level up because you know I have gift of healing hands. You know I can cast. I hadn't done it yet. You know what I'm saying? But I can cast out demons. I hadn't done that yet, but I have laid my hands on certain things and things came to reality and people did a testimony and church behind it and you know stuff like that. So I know I have a lot of gifts, y'all. You know, I used to have people tell me that, man, you got like all the gifts, cause you know that's just how God chose me. That's how they created, you know, designed it, made me. And so yeah, you know, so I have a lot of gifts, and yeah, I'm finished straight off forgetting what I was gonna say. That's why I see whenever I'm making these videos, I gotta stay on one track, because if I don't, I get to talking about something else and then I forget, you know, where I was going. Now I gotta keep on talking this so I won't sound crazy, so I can, you know, pick off where I left off at. But anyway, like I was saying, it was a level up, and this guy that I work with, this is a guy that I work with. I mentioned this guy before in one of my other videos. Actually, right before I went to go offshore, I had mentioned about this guy who, you know, who just had such a negative energy, and I didn't never want to work with this guy anymore. But then I ended up having to work with this guy. So you know, the job I just left off with, I was on the job with this guy. But this last job me and this guy was on, like I said, you know, he's a brother, man. You know, he got some powers and he got some gifts too. You know, and he's awoken. You know what I'm saying? He's anointed also, and I try to build him up and tell him that about himself, but it just seems like seems like he don't want it or something like that. So you know, I ended up you know, working with this brother again. So whenever I worked with this brother the first time, I was supposed to tell this brother like how anointed that he was, you know, like you know, I was supposed to tell him a lot of good things about himself, but he was on such a negative energy. It's like I didn't get a chance to even explain that stuff to him. And even if I did, it was like he didn't even want it anyways. So the second time we ended up making it together, I ended up getting to explain some stuff to him. But like I said, whenever I worked with him that first time, I said I was gonna work with him again. It was like it was like a month and a half before we ended up on this project that we just left together. And so within that time, he had sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I'm thinking like you know, I'm not gonna say this guy's name. I'm hope I don't say his name. I'm like, what are you sending me a friend request for? You know how negative he was. Tell me we already had this talk. So what are you sending me a friend request for? And before I still accepted his friend request, but before I accepted it, my inner spirit told me, he's gonna do witchcraft for me. You know what I'm saying? Said it just like that. You know, he's gonna do witchcraft for me. And I ain't saying this brother did witchcraft for me, but you know, it was like, that's just what my spirit just spoke it like that. So I was like, okay, whatever. So you know, I still hit his friend request. It was like he's gonna like get some of your pictures off Facebook and do some witchcraft for me. So you know, I did. I accepted his friend request. I left it like that. And so and then within that time, that's whenever I had this vision. Like I said, it was a month and a half ago. Whenever, you know, the last time me and him worked together, but it was like 3 weeks ago since we had worked together. And then, you know, right around that time is whenever I had this vision that I was possessed. So whenever we ended up meeting each other on the same job again, it was like I would try to get him, you know, to like have conversations with me about, you know, the Most High, you know, how we call ourselves guys, and, you know, and female goddesses, you know, we know who we are. Because this is the first brother I ever worked with to where he owned this type of stuff and he didn't want to communicate this stuff with me. That's like, that blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? I never experienced that before. Most people, and the majority of it is my own kind, but even other ethnic groups, it's like when we on that level, oh, ball, you know it's gonna be a good hitch, because iron sharpen iron. So it's like we own it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we own it. But this guy, it was like he just was always trying to avoid me, man. That just didn't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make no sense to me. So you know, it was like whenever God wants you to know something, God will make a person say something about a certain situation that they didn't want to even talk to you about. So, like I told y'all, you know what I'm saying? This hadn't happened probably in about 2 weeks now. But in the other video, I told y'all like how I be waking up miserable sometimes, and sometimes I wake up real miserable. But when I wake up that bad, it's like I have a person face image in my head, and I just pray for that person. And whenever I finish praying for them, you know, the misery leaves. And I think that misery is because I'm feeling people's misery, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as I pray, it leaves. But if I don't pray, I stay miserable all day. You know what I'm saying? Until I actually pray sincere. So I woke up one morning like that, man, and it was like I had to pray for someone. And I didn't know who it was for, man. You know, God didn't really show me the face this time. But I knew, it felt like it was for somebody that I was working out there with. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? I prayed, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up way miserable than I was the first time, because I wasn't sincere, right? Because I was so tired, and God woke me up, I didn't feel like praying. So that second time, I had to wake up, and then by the time I then did it, and then got up to actually go to work, I was exhausted. So he was like, man, you kind of quiet, like what's going on? So I explained to him what was going on. And I was telling him like man, like you on my level, like I kind of need you to, like, you know, listen to what I'm saying, like who I'm praying for, stuff like that. And so he ended up listening, you know what I'm saying? But we got into a deep conversation about like what I know he knows and like what I like to talk about. But I can still see like he just don't be wanting to have these conversations with me. And like I said, that's kind of strange. And then all of a sudden he was like, hey man, because they had another guy that works with us. You know, he don't be believing that none of this stuff we be talking about. We be calling each other guys. He don't think none of that. You know, he don't believe in the name Yahshua. He believe only Jesus Christ, which that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I said that stuff works. But he's like how I was brought up. You know, completely on this Christianity stuff, caught up in all that. You know what I'm saying? He's on that level. You know, it's like he's fresh in it. And I'm like 12, 13 years, maybe 15 years into all this stuff. So it's just like, you know, I can see, you know, I don't try to like, you know, get mad at him because I know where he's at, because I used to be that way. So this guy was with us too, and he's also, you know, he's a brother, you know, he's mixed. So he was, so he was there, and so this guy that I'm talking about said, hey, you know, I don't want to say this, but you know, I wasn't gonna say this, but he said, man, my daughter, she was possessed. Like she was possessed by a demon. Like man, me and my daddy, we had to cast him out. Like we had to cast that demon out. You know what I'm saying? And when he's telling me this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm listening to what the brother's saying, but because he don't know that I had this vision. I told him about this vision the same day he said that, but later on into the day. This was in the morning time when all of this stuff, whenever he had mentioned that. But in the evening, that's when I finally, you know, told him about, you know, about the vision that I had, you know what I'm saying? And so, but when he was telling it, he wouldn't look at me. He just kept looking at the other guy who really ain't trying to even hear what we even got to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm still thinking that straight. I'm like, brother, I'm like, because he like, you know, I got the gifts of casting out demons, gifts of healing hand. So I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I got that too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's still not trying to like connect with me on this level. And I'm just like, God dang, I'm like, man, this brother he's something else. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of pretty much like left it like that. But when he said that, I was just thinking like it was him, you know what I'm saying, that sunk that my way. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it was two men, and he said it was him and his dad. And by any means, I ain't calling these people no demons or nothing. When he said his daddy a preacher, or, you know, all this other stuff like this. So I know that, you know, they probably anointed and gifted. Well, matter of fact, I know this brother anointed and he's gifted. but I think he's using his powers for good and for bad. And I think God is just making me go through these things with this brother because he wanting this brother to change. He wants this brother to stop using his bad, you know, he want him to stop using his gifts for bad. You know what I'm saying? If he's using them that way. Like I said, I'm not saying the brother is, but it's just strange how the energy shift is. Because you know, I know the brother can't just tell me that he don't want to talk to me just because he don't like me or he don't like my energy or whatever, because that you know, I can care less. That just, I won't accept that, because whenever you got that spirit, man, and knowing I got the Holy Spirit in me, that you just gonna connect. Point blank period. You just gonna connect. If you got the good spirit, you got the Holy Spirit with you, you're gonna connect. And if someone that claims to know what you know ain't connecting with you, something going on. But the whole time I'm always like trying to figure out like what's going on with this brother. I'm like, something is going on with this brother. I'm like, he says he's anointed, he says he's gifted, but it's like he's not. How you doing, sir? But it's like he's not using it for good, man. You know what I'm saying? So I had this thing came over me, man. Like, I'll show you how good this brother, how gifted this brother really is, and how God want him to turn away from, you know what I'm saying, his wicked ways, man. If any. And you know, I'm the type of person, you know, I'm gonna sweep around my own front door before I try to sweep around yours. I'm gonna pluck that thing out my own eye before I try to pluck it out yours. But nevertheless, if I have a message, I'm gonna relay it to you. And so I had this feeling, this came over me, man, to where I just wanted to be like this brother. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like this brother. And man, when I tell y'all that offended me so much, I'm gonna make a video just by itself. I was so mad at God, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you wanted me to be like this man? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you wanted me to be like this man? And so this was the first time me and him worked together. I felt that way towards him, and I was really gonna tell him about that. But the dude was just so cocky and just so like prideful. He's like, you know, this like all this stuff. It's like you can't get nothing in his head. You know what I'm saying? And if I knew I was gonna tell him that, he wouldn't have took the information how he should have took it anyways. And the reason why I know that was true, because it was God gave me confirmation from him whenever he said that his daughter had got possessed. He was saying that, you know, he said, yeah, you know, I'm cocky, you know, this stuff like that. And I said, bro, you know what? I said, man, by you saying that, I said, you're right. I said, man, I actually felt like I wanted to be like you. I was supposed to tell you that on the other project, but I knew you was gonna be cocky. And I said, by me just knowing that, that you just confirmed by you just saying that. So I said, I didn't get a chance for me to tell you that because you was too cocky. And yeah, so you know, it was you know, just kind of, you know, hard for me to get that to the brother. So at the end of the day, I ended up telling him, I said, hey man, you remember that what you said about your daughter? I said, this gonna sound fire. This fire to me. I said I said, whenever stuff like that happen, I say this fire to me. So I said, whenever you told me that, bro, I said, I told him about this vision I'm telling you guys right now, how I was possessed. And I said, God showed me it was two men. I said, he ain't show me their face or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But I said he showed me it was two men. And you know, he just over there, you know, just like listening, you know what I'm saying? Then like one guy came, walk by, then he started like he started like hitting on, like playing with him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in this conversation telling him about this vision, so he started hitting and playing with him. So whenever they kind of like stopped playing, homie walked off and he goes, go ahead, continue what you were saying. And I'm just like, you know, I'm like, man, something is up with this brother, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it don't happen like that, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You ain't fixing to be in and out. Man, look, it don't happen like that unless you got something going on with you, man. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't putting the brother business out there or nothing like that. But this brother be on all other kind of stuff, man, you know, on all other kind of stuff. You know, he's like I said, I don't want to put the brother stuff out there, even though I ain't saying his name or nothing like that, because, you know, the brother may come across my videos one day, you know, and he gonna definitely know that he gonna definitely know we had this conversation. But you know, and the brother can sing, man. This brother got a voice on him, bro. You know what I'm saying? The brother can sing, man. It's like when he be walking, he be humming himself sometimes. You know, and it's like I'm the same way too. And I be telling, I say, man, you got a voice that you can sing. And you know, and it's almost like he sounds like me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, you know, he got dreads and like, man, I ain't gonna say me and the guy looking like, but you know, in the appearance, you know, from dread styles, you kind of resemble each other from far away, but close up, nah, we don't look like each other at all. So it's like, you know, it's like, and I saw him asking God, I said, okay, why you putting me through this with this dude? Am this a mirror of myself? Am I doing some of the things that he's doing? Because I always try to ask God that before I just start blaming somebody on stuff. You know, I grew up to learn to, you know, test it out that way first before I just start putting stuff on people. And so, you know I kind of like jumping all over the place and stuff like that, but I'm gonna get to the point. So I'm gonna get to the point. But whenever I was telling him, whenever I wanted to be like this brother, it was like God wasn't making me. God wasn't doing this for me to feel like I wanted to be like this brother. He wanted it was more of an obedient thing. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, that verse, Proverbs, I can't forget what it is, but it says, be good to those whenever it's in your power to do so. Or like, don't tell your neighbor to come back later whenever you got it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not hip on them verses like that. I used to be when I was coming up back in the day, but I left that alone for so many years. It's like, you know, I got to get myself back on it. And so, but anyway, just by me giving y'all just a little bit of stuff like that, it's enough for y'all to go and find it, Google it real quick, and it'll pull it right up for y'all. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And so whenever I thought of that, and I actually read that verse, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, God, that's what you wanted me to do for. And then it's like God always telling me, like, he's trying to give this brother chance after chance. He's using me to make this brother feel good about himself. He's using me to make this brother know that you are on the right path, that I do love you. You know, God do love him. And then God want him to change, to turn his ways. You know what I'm saying? Turn his ways around. But it's almost like if the brother is like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and it's almost like he's a good person, y'all. He really is. And it's like, soon as you make him mad or something, it's like he used his gifts for evil on you. You know what I'm saying? And I actually knew like 3 people in ministry that was the same way. You know, let me kind of get out this sun a little bit, bad boy. Leave him right on top of me now. And yeah, you know, and one of the ministry, you know, he was an elder. You know, he ended up doing some freaking witchcraft stuff on me also. You know what I'm saying? But you know, none of it lasts. It's like God has let me test it. You know what I'm saying? I think earlier I said that ain't never happened to me before, but now that I think about it, this happened over 10 years ago to me. So I just remembered that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, so I knew a few people in ministry that was the same way, and by this guy not wanting to ever tap into on a spiritual level with me, it just shows me and confirms to me that this brother really is doing it that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like he use it for bad, and he use it for good, but he use it for bad. Cause like I said, the brother really got some powers, man, but he don't want to get taken out and not fully use his power, because that ain't gonna be good. So even though the brother tried to throw the evil spirit on me, the witchcraft on me, whatever the brother tried to do, even if he did that, I just knew that I could hear the spirit. I could hear the spirit from within saying that next time he do that, he's taking him out. Next time he try to throw that evil spirit on me, that witchcraft on me, God is taking him out. You know what I'm saying? And God done took a few people out for me already, and I'm gonna make those into individual videos also. And that's a righteous kill, what you call that. You know what I'm saying? And whenever God kills someone for you, man, it ain't. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna explain it online or something, you got to be careful how you say it. But when I tell you that the feeling, man, you ain't gonna get no feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? for someone for God to unalive someone for you. And I've been seen other people's videos where they actually had God do that for them too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, God did the same thing for me. You know, so yeah, you know what I'm saying. But so I'm gonna put that in other videos also. But God was like, I just knew that God was like, if he tried to do that to you again, I'm gonna unalive him. But I know the brother not gonna do it again. It's like I can already feel that spirit, that presence. You know what I'm saying? I know the brother is not gonna do that again. I just know that. You know what I'm saying? It's like by me telling that brother that, you know what I'm saying? And then whenever I told him that about, you know, how I was possessed, it was like the brother had burnt off for almost like 30 minutes, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I was like, man, where he at? Where he at? You know, so to me, I'm thinking like he went to go tell his father or someone, hey man, this stuff happened, or you know, and he tried to like, I don't know what the brother, I can't, you know, he probably ain't do nothing. He probably just, you know, he might use the restroom or something, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be adding nothing, you know what I'm saying? And then this brother see this video, and then he want to try to come tap and some stuff talking about, yeah, y'all act like you know everything, and then, you know, hit me with some crazy stuff, trying to make it sound like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I know what it is. So, but anyway, I was just wondering where he was at. So, but yeah, man, you know, like I said, it was, I'm pretty much about to, about to end this video, but I know God got me on the vision journey, you know, a vision journey series explaining my videos. Wow, that's it. You know, explaining my videos and stuff like that, man, my vision videos. And since I recently just had this one, like I said, only a few weeks ago, you know, it was a fresh one. I had about 3 other ones a few weeks ago also. So I'm gonna be making some more videos, you know, just so, like I said, I can put out one a week. But anyway, it was like, since I'm ending this video, like I said, I like to do a recap at the end of my videos, if I remember right. So the recap of it was like, God wanted me to experience that because he wanted me to understand how much power that I really have. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about I got power, this and that, but I never was possessed by a demon, and I never, you know, because I never was gonna get possessed by a demon. I'm always gonna get out the way. But he made me get possessed. He made me go through it, and you know, when he spoke his word through me. And every time he said something, I remember who I was. I stood my ground. I took it. You know what I'm saying? And God was just showing me like you know. And this ain't just this is for the test of time now. You know what I'm saying? So any evil spirit, any witchcraft trying to come upon me, God just want me to stand. Just take it and stand your ground. And remember who you are, and you're gonna devour that crap. You're gonna destroy it. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. You're gonna destroy it. It's almost like the island of Patmos whenever Jonah, you know what I'm saying, when he got out there and, you know, he didn't want to do God's will. When he got bit by that snake, you know what I'm saying, that old three hit a quitter, old pausing the snake, they looking at him thinking he about to pass out, thinking he about to die, ain't nothing even happened to him. Why? Because he was filled with the Holy Spirit. And so the God like brought me back to that verse too. You know what I'm saying? Like showing me a lot of things, man, like a lot of things like that, man. You know, because I be telling God, I be like, you know, I'd be like, man, I said, God, I want to serve you, man. Because I know I got a big mouth, y'all. I got some, boy, I got a big mouth, man. And, you know, I got a lot of power behind it. You know, they say that tongue can heal and it can kill, man. And, man, whenever I get out of character, man, I can make that thing I can have something wanting to kill me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I can have something wanting to love me, too. So, you know, it's just like, it's like I got to be careful. I got to be careful with it. And, look at me. I forget where I was going just by me saying that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's a lot of power. It's a lot of power in our tongue. So you know, we got to be careful. You know, like how we say some things. And like I said, you know, it was just God just was showing me, you know, like the powers. Man, this video almost 30 minutes long. God was just showing me the powers that, you know, that I possess. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I can use them for good or I can use them for bad, but I choose to use mine for good. So for all y'all that's out there that got these powers and y'all using them for bad, all for bad and good, it ain't gonna cut it, y'all. Y'all gotta stop using those powers for bad. Only use them for good, man. Because all you doing is reaping what you sow. You know what I'm saying? All you doing is setting up things in karma to come for you. You know what I'm saying? Or it may even jump over you and hit your kids, man. You know what I'm saying? So stop doing it. because the Most High don't like that, man. He gave your powers for you to use for His glory, for His will. You know what I'm saying? For you to deliver people, for you to cast out demons, for you to do all this healing, man. You know what I'm saying? For you to do all this healing. I just freaking love, you know, nature, wildlife. I love it. So yeah, y'all kind of forgot where I was going with that last little piece before I, you know, said what I said. But like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this video, and you know, I'll go ahead and just get another one going because I have a few of them. But yeah, y'all, just if you got these powers and you got these gifts, and if you're chosen, and if you're anointed, like I said, stop playing around, because God don't like it. So yeah, thank y'all for watching it again. And God, I wish I could remember where I was at, man, because you know I want to kind of finish it off with that, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Video too long, anyways. So catch y'all on the next one. Hallelujah.